Hello all, welcome to Code Hub. Consistency is the key to success, and today we can solve the LeetCode daily challenge. The question is longest substring without repeating characters. That is, given a string S, find the length of the longest substring without repeating characters. That is, they have given a string. Namely, we can take this first example itself: A B C A B C B B, and here we can consider this string C A B. Here the C occurs once and A occurs once and B occurs once. So there are no repeating characters. So here the length of this substring will be 3. And we can consider A, B, C, A, B as this one substring. And here A occurs twice and B occurs twice and C occurs once. And as you can see here, B and A occurs twice. There are repeating characters, which is A and B. So here we don't consider this as our answer, as part of our answer. So for this example, the longest possible length where the substring has no repeating characters are A, B, C and C, A, B. That's it, with the length of 3. So this is our question basically. So how we can approach this? Let's go with the brute force approach. What we can do in brute force is we can generate all the possible substrings and we can check whether there are any repeating characters. Obviously, to know whether the character is repeating, we need a frequency array. So we will have a map of 26 letters. Okay, the constraint says that the S consists of English letters, digits, symbols and spaces. So we can't take as a 26 size array. So we can take a map itself. We can take an unordered map. This is going to say our frequency of the letters if we pass the string. Okay, the brute force approach will be, first we have a for loop which is going to run from 0 to n, and we will be having another for loop which is going to run from I to n, and for each substring, that is, consider string temp, we can say substr. For each substring from I to j, we will store the frequency, in map. And if there are no repeating characters that we found in this substring, we will update the answers array, not array. We will update our answer is nothing but our max of answer comma j minus I. This will give j minus I gives us the length of the substring. This will be our brute force approach. But for this, what we are doing basically is each time we are running 2 for loops. So, and even for generating substrings, for the traversing the substrings and storing in the map, we will run another for loop. So the time complexity boils down from order of n cube. Considering we are traversing the whole substring in a for loop. So this will boils down to order of n cube, and our space complexity will be order of n. So how we can optimize this approach? Okay, this will be our brute force approach. Now let's see how we can optimize our approach. For this, we can use a sliding window technique. Sliding window approach. We can take this example itself. If we are encountering a character, we will store the frequency in map. That is the thing we are going to do ultimately. So consider we are having a map where I will store the character and the frequency. So first the I pointer, consider the I pointer is at this index 0. So we will store the character frequency. Now I becomes 1 and now A becomes 1. Then the I goes to 1 first index and we will store the frequency of B. It is 1. And again I, for each and every index while we are moving, we will update our answer as I minus j. We will also have a j pointer at the first index, so that we will keep track. We will expand the window and we will contract the window once we face any repeating characters. That is the concept of using the sliding window here. So we will store the frequency of C as 1, and now I becomes I comes to I points to the character A. Now we will make the frequency as 2, but as you can see that there are repeating characters from J to I. We are having some repeating character, that is A as repeating character. So we will move the J pointer forward until the frequency of that character becomes 1. So we have moved the j pointer. So as you can see that now I and j is having the constraint as there are no repeating characters in between the string. So this satisfies the condition. Now again we will move forward. Again you can see that I minus j gives us the answer as the index is 0, 1, 2, 3, and the j is pointing to 1. I is pointing to 3 and j is pointing to 1, and since it is 0 based indexing, the answer will be max of answer gamma I minus j plus 1. Hope you can understand this. Let's move forward, and now we will move the I pointer to next index, and now we will store the frequency B. And as you can see that there are repeating characters, that B is the repeating character, and we will decrement, we will now contract the j pointer until we make the B character, the frequency of B character in the map as 1. So now j pointer moves front, and again we will calculate the we will update our answer. And now the I pointer moves forward, and we will store the frequency of C as 2, and we will increment it. And you can see that again there are repeating characters. C is the repeating character, so we will contract the j pointer until we update the we will, until the frequency of C is decremented to 1. And as you can see that now our frequency is 1 for the C character. And again we are moving forward. Now as you can see that the B's frequency is becoming 2, and there are repeating characters. Until we make the frequency of the character B as 1, we will move it. So now the j pointer moves forward, and we will decrement the frequency of A, since j was pointing to the character A, and it becomes 0. And now again since the B character has not become 1, we will again move the j pointer forward, and now you can see the map frequency of B is 1. Again we'll update our answer, and moving forward, as you can see that again the frequency of B character becomes 2, and again we are contracting the j pointer, and since j was pointing to this character C, the frequency of C becomes 0. And again since the B character is 2, frequency of B is 2, we will move forward, and it has the frequency has become 1. And when I or j reaches the end of the array, we can end the loop. So here considering the sliding window technique, we are just doing two things. What we are doing is step 1 is nothing but moving the I pointer forward if the frequency is 1, that is expanding. This is we are expanding the window. Expanding the window. Step 2 here is when there are repeating characters. When there are repeating characters, contract the window using J pointer. And here the time complexity will be order of n, and our space complexity will be order of 1. Order of 1, not order of n, since we are storing the frequency of the character, so we will be having a space complexity of order of n. So this will be the approach. Okay, let's comment this and we will move on to coding part. Okay, fine. This is for our reference. We'll keep this here and we'll move on to coding. First, what we need is we need a size of the array. We'll keep it in the variable size. We'll give it in the variable n, and we should have a I pointer and j pointer. We can also follow the naming convention. So I is going to the next pointer, right? So we can have have I as next. I starts from 0 and j is behind the I pointer, behind the next pointer, so we can name it as previous. That also starts from 0. Okay, now what we do is while next is not the while till next is reaching the size of the array, we'll run the for loop. Okay, the for loop runs, and whenever we come inside the for loop, what we are doing is we are incrementing, we are updating the map. We are storing the frequency of the character in the map. We are in need of an unordered map. Since another map does not do sorting, we will do approximately in order of 1 time. So it will give us an order of 1 time. So we'll have a char comma int map mp. As soon as we enter the for loop, we are just storing the character in our map mp of s of next. Instead of having a next, we will name it as current pointer, right? That will be making sense more. Okay. Now what we do is, if while we'll get the character first, the current character s of cur. We are just going to if we are just going to contract the previous pointer till we make the frequency as 1 or 0 in our current map. So for that we will use a while loop. While s of, if previous is less than the size of the array, and if my s of previous map of s of previous what are we doing is we are contracting the map array, right? So we will check a condition. If our mp of c is greater than the frequency 1, then we can know that we are having a repeating character here. Then we will enter into this if condition, and we are going to increment the previous pointer until mp of s of previous minus minus until until my current characters frequency is becoming 1, less than or equal to 1, we are going to do this, right? Yeah. Oh, not until it is greater than 1, we are going to do this mp of s of previous minus minus. Yeah, right. Hmm. Hope this makes sense. We are just contracting the window. And after which we must update our answer, right? Answer is we will store as, yeah, max of my answer or cur minus previous plus 1. Since it is 0 based indexing, we are adding 1. Okay, we will should have an answer variable, and we just return our answer finally. Let us do a dry run. The cut pointer is moving. We are taking the current character in our char c, and we are storing it in map. If our mp of c map of the frequency of the current character is greater than 1, that is, it is there are repeating characters, so we will come inside this if condition and we will run a while loop. What we are doing is, unless the previous is less than n and the mp of current, that is current characters frequency is greater than 1, we are going to contract the window. So mp of s of previous, that is the character yeah, that the character that is stored in the previous pointer, we are decrementing it in our map so that the frequency will be get decremented, and then we will increment our previous pointer. And after coming out of this loop, we will update the answer as max of answer comma cur minus previous plus 1. Hope that makes sense. And here this will be the optimized approach. Here the time complexity will be r of n and space complexity will be r of n. Oops, what is happening here? Hmm. Hmm. Cut plus plus, I have left in the for loop, so cut plus plus. Yeah, it satisfies the case, and we'll use example test cases. Okay, let us submit the answer. Yeah, it gets accepted. Yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching and hope you like this video. Thank you.